I'm going to show you 5 reasons why you should stick with Lightroom. I have tried many editing softwares before, but I keep coming back to Lightroom because it's that good. It's got a few tools that other brands do not have. And if they do have that specific tool, they do not have everything that Lightroom gives you. So here are my 5 reasons why I will stick with Lightroom for a bit longer. And if you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. It will help me out a lot, making more videos like this one. And in the comments below, let me know what's the one thing that you cannot leave Lightroom for. To import photos via Lightroom is very simple. All you have to do is go into Library, click on Import, plug in, of course, your SD card, and it will gray out every single photos that you have already imported, so you cannot import them again. It is very neat, and I do this every time I have to format a card just to make sure that I have every single photos or videos imported into my computer. And you can click here on New Photos, so it will just show you the new photos that have not been imported into your computer. And that is an amazing trick. You can also rename every single photos that you import to help you keep track of them. And down here you can choose where the photos will be imported into. So I can create a new folder also if I need to. It's 2019 now, so click New Folder, 2019, press Create, then Choose. And there you go. And all I have to do is click Import, and it will import all the new photos and videos that are not into this computer. And my second reason is the copy and paste. So here I have my image, I'm happy with it, I've done all my editing, I've added some grain, I added the lens correction, added some sharpening, and now what I want to do is have the exact same settings for every single photo that I just shot. And to do that, what I need to do is copy and paste the settings. So I can click right and go on Develop Settings and click Copy Settings. Or to do it quickly, just Command C. And now you want to make sure that you click on the things that you need. Local brush, I do not want that because if I did any manual adjusting, the image is not the same, so I do not want to have that. I'll get rid of the crop. Spot removal, I don't want it. Lens correction, I want it because I know I use the same lens for all those photos. And click copy. And now all you have to do is go on the next photo and then click Command V. And boom, you have it. I'll show you with a different photo now. Command V, boom. You might have to do some micro adjustments, like the brightness might be a bit too strong here because the settings were not exactly the same. But Command V and bim. And if you want to quickly do it on a bunch of photos, what you can do is Command A for Command All. I'll deselect the 2 that I've done. And right now you cannot do Command V, unfortunately. It will only do it to one photo, so to do that you click right, and then you go on Develop Settings and Paste Settings. And you will see that my settings is being applied to every single photo. This one looks good. This one is good. This one as well. I can see that this one is a bit too dark. It was different settings. I shot at 1/2000th of a second instead of 1/800th of a second. So I'm just going to push the exposure a bit. I'm happy with that. And this one as well. So you do need to do a little tweaking, but it saves me so much time like that. And hopefully it will save you a lot of time too. Now let's say I want to save all the settings and reuse them for different photos in the future time. So what I can do is click on the arrow here to make the side window pop up, and then click on the plus here. And you say Create Preset. And here again, it will show the same thing. It's going to ask you what do you want to check. And I don't want to check the lens correction because I'll be using different lenses. And I'm going to call it Scotland Horse 2. I'm going to choose the group. I'll keep on user presets, and I want to make sure that everything I want to keep for that preset is clicked, and I check create, and there he goes, Scotland Horse. So if I go here, reset, and click on Scotland Horse 2, there you go. Very simple and an awesome tool to have. So reason number 3 is the Luminance mask. And as you can see here, the top of the buildings are darkened. and they're not supposed to be like that. They should look something like this. And the reason why they're dark like that, and you will see this in a lot of people's photos, in landscape photos, is because they use a gradient mask. So this is a gradient mask, and you can see that it is affecting the top of the buildings and a bit of what's under it. So what you want to do now is use the range mask and go to Luminance. And what this does is you're able to tell Lightroom what part of the image you want to be affected by the gradient mask. And in this case, I do not want the dark part of the image to be affected by it. So I can actually lower it a bit. And you can see the top of the buildings now are lighter. They're not being affected as much by the gradient mask. This was the original. And as I move to the right, I'm telling Lightroom not to affect the darker part of the image. And you need to find the right range, but to me right now this looks good. And you can also change the smoothness of it. And for my case, I want it somewhere around here. I'm gonna get rid of this, and you can see that the buildings are still a bit dark to my taste, so I'm gonna push it a bit more. There, that looks good right now to me, and you can see the smoothness here. And if you have the smoothness at 0, it might affect the borders of the buildings. In this case, not too much, but I'm still going to use it a bit just to make sure. And that is what it's supposed to look like. That was before. That is after. And voila, with just a few clicks, you can create amazing landscape photos. And before, what you had to do, if you did not want the buildings to be affected by the gradient mask, you had to use a brush and go on erase, and then just erase the area you did not want it to be affected by the gradient mask. But that causes lots of problems, as you can see here, because it's not super precise. The side of the buildings are now, there's a halo around it because of my brush. And so I can press Alt and create, and then add some more to try to play with it. And now erase that. So you would have to go back and forth like that. And it does work for this building. It's actually fairly easy, but imagine having to do it on this thing right here. It is a waste of time, and it's not as precise, and as you can see, you're also affecting the rest. So the new range mask is fantastic. A great feature that Lightroom has now is you can go back and forth between Lightroom and Photoshop CC really easily. Let's say that I've done all the tweaking that I could do with Lightroom, and I still want to do a few more things more advanced on this photo. So all I have to do is click right on the image and go to Edit In and choose Photoshop CC 2019. And what that does is it sends the photo into Photoshop like such. And if I want to do, and let's say I want to do some changes, so I'm going to do content aware. Let's say I want to make the sky bigger, so I'm going to do this. It's probably going to look weird with the clouds, but this is just for the sake of the video. And once it is done rendering, you can just go ahead and click Save, Command S, it will save it and send it back into Lightroom. Here's my new photo. Here's the one before. As you can see, all the changes have been applied. And I'm now with a TIFF file, which will be a lot bigger than what I had before, which will take up a lot more space, but that's the trade-off. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and if you did learn something from this, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the like button. It will help me out a lot. And let me know in the comments below, what's the one thing that you cannot leave Lightroom for? And I'll see you guys in the next one.